back to the channel. Today we're going to unravel some incredibly complex events in Genoa. Rumors are circulating around the Newman family, but what's the truth? In this video, I'll summarize the plot points that will be revealed in the next episode. Stay tuned to see what happens.
Welcome back to our channel, everyone. Today is a beautiful day to dive deep into the absolute madness happening in Genoa City. We have a lot of ground to cover, so let's just jump right into the thick of it. And just when you thought the Abbott family could finally take a deep breath, right? I mean, Jack and Diane are at the hospital. They are finally getting some private time after Diane survived that horrific digitalis poisoning. The charges are dropped. Ashley and Tracy are literally back at the mansion voting Lauren Fenmore in as an honorary Abbott. It sounds like a happy ending, but this is the young and the restless. Happy endings don't last for more than 5 minutes. So of course, Patty Williams is sitting in her jail cell, and she is seething. She is absolutely livid. You guys remember a few episodes ago when Kyle Abbott decided to go visit Patty in jail? What was he thinking, honestly? What was he thinking? He went in there to gloat. He wanted to rub it in her face that his mother survived the poisoning and that Jack and Diane are happily reunited. He wanted to break her spirit, and maybe he did for a second. But Patty is not the kind of person who just sits there and takes it. She is a Williams, but she is also deeply and incredibly vindictive. You do not poke the bear when the bear is Patty Williams. You just don't. So Patty decides to strike back, and she doesn't just strike back with a threat. She strikes back with a psychological nuclear bomb. From behind bars, Patty somehow manages to reach out to her old contacts. Or maybe she just uses her insane manipulation skills to get someone on the outside to do her dirty work. She orchestrates a brand new, completely fake DNA test. And she has it sent directly to Kyle, a piece of paper that claims Jack Abbott is not his biological father. Let that sink in. She is telling Kyle that his entire life, his entire identity as an Abbott, is a lie. How did she even pull this off? I mean, Patty is locked up. But we have to remember she was working with Dr. Lawrence Markham. Markham was the mastermind behind Diane's kidnapping, and even though Patty threw him under the bus to get a lighter sentence, she clearly still has avenues to get things done. She is dangerous. She is so dangerous. And she knows exactly where to hit the Abbott family to cause the absolute most damage possible. Kyle gets this envelope. He opens it up, and he stares at the results. You can just imagine the look on his face, the absolute horror, the denial. He probably tells himself it's garbage. He probably wants to just rip it up and throw it in the fireplace, but he doesn't. Because that tiny little seed of doubt has been planted in his brain. And once that seed is planted, it just starts to grow. It grows and grows until it consumes him. Why wouldn't he just ignore it? Because Kyle's history with his parents is already so messed up. Let's be real here for a second. Diane Jenkins does not exactly have a spotless track record when it comes to honesty. The fans on social media have been pointing this out all week. Diane faked her own death back in 2011 with Deacon Sharp. She let Kyle mourn her for a decade, a whole decade. And before that, her romantic history was a complete mess. She was involved with Victor, with Jack, with Brad. There was always drama about who fathered her child back in the day. So when Kyle looks at this fake DNA test, a part of him has to wonder, is it possible? Could she have lied about this too? Okay, maybe I'm being too harsh on Diane. She has changed. She really has tried to be a good mother since she came back to Genoa City, but Kyle's trauma is real. He grew up thinking one thing, then another. His whole identity is wrapped up in being Jack Abbott's son. He runs Abbott. He is the golden boy. If you take that away from him, who is he? Patty knows this. She knows that Kyle's ego and his sense of self are entirely dependent on his Abbott blood. So she attacks the bloodline. It is so diabolical. It really is. So instead of throwing the paper away, Kyle is going to launch a full investigation. He is going to start digging. He is going to hire people, or maybe look into it himself to find out if this DNA test has any merit. He won't be able to let it go. And that is exactly what Patty wants. She wants him distracted. She wants him paranoid. She wants him looking at his mother with suspicion. Because while Kyle is running around trying to figure out who his real daddy is, the rest of the family is going to fall apart. And the timing is just. It is the worst possible timing in the history of the world. Jack is weak right now. He was stabbed by Patty. He was drugged by Patty. He has been through absolute hell trying to save Diane from Dr. Markham and that whole hostage situation. His heart and his body have taken a massive beating. He is recovering. He needs peace and quiet. He needs to just sit in that hospital room and hold Diane's hand. But now, he is going to have to deal with his son questioning their paternity. Can you imagine what this is going to do to Jack? Jack loves Kyle more than anything. Kyle is his pride and joy. If Kyle comes to him and says, "Hey Dad, are you really my dad?" it is going to break Jack's heart. It is going to shatter him, and Jack is already so fragile. The writers are really putting Jack through the ringer this year. I mean, how much can one man take? First the yacht, then the stabbing, then Diane almost dying, and now his son might reject him. It's too much. It is just too much. And what about Diane? Diane is recovering from digitalis poisoning. She literally just woke up from a coma. She was at death's door. And now she is going to have to defend her honor again. She is going to have to prove to her son that she didn't lie to him about who his father is. Diane is going to go feral. You know she is. She already strangled Patty once in the hallway of the hospital. If she finds out Patty sent this fake DNA test to Kyle, Diane might actually finish the job this time. I wouldn't put it past her. But wait, it gets even crazier. Because we also have to remember the other massive secret that is floating around out there right now. The fact that Jack and Patty used to be in love, and they actually have a secret child together. Yes, a secret child. Is that child Audra Charles? A lot of people think so. So think about the irony here. Patty is trying to convince Kyle that he is not Jack's son, while at the same time, Patty's actual biological child with Jack is out there somewhere. Is Patty trying to clear the board? Is she trying to get rid of Kyle so that her own child can step in and be Jack's sole heir? It makes you wonder what Patty's ultimate endgame is. Does she just want to cause pain? Or is there a bigger master plan? Sometimes I second-guess myself and think, maybe Patty is just lashing out blindly because she is locked in a cell and has nothing else to do. But then I remember how calculated she was when she had plastic surgery to look like Emily Peterson. I remember how calculated she was when she used Dr. Markham to hold Diane hostage. Patty plays the long game. This fake DNA test is not just a prank. It is a targeted missile aimed at the foundation of the Abbott family. And how are Tracy and Ashley going to react to all of this? They are back at the mansion, drinking and celebrating with Lauren. They think the nightmare is over. But the nightmare is just changing shape. Ashley is already suspicious. She is already asking questions about why Patty hates Jabos so much. When this DNA scandal blows up, Ashley is going to go on the warpath. She is going to tear Genoa City apart trying to protect Jack and Kyle, but the damage might already be done. Because even if they prove the test is fake, the trust between Kyle and Diane will be damaged. Honestly, I just want to shake Kyle. I want to reach through the screen and shake him. Why would you believe anything that comes from Patty Williams? The woman tried to murder your parents. She stabbed your dad. She poisoned your mom. And now you are going to let a piece of paper she sent you dictate your life? It is so stupid. It is just so stupid. But I guess grief and trauma make people do stupid things. And Kyle has a lot of trauma. He is terrified of losing what he has. Kyle is also dealing with his hatred for Victor Newman right now. Remember last week when Kyle was at society with Billy Abbott? They were literally plotting a massive revenge scheme against Victor because Kyle blames Victor for letting Patty loose in the first place. So Kyle's brain is already wired for conspiracies. He already thinks everyone is out to get his family. When this fake DNA test arrives, his paranoia is going to go into overdrive. He might even think Victor helped Patty fake the test. And you know what? That wouldn't even be the craziest thing Victor has ever done. Victor has faked evidence before, but in this case, it is all Patty. Patty is sitting in her cell playing puppet master. She is probably laughing to herself right now. She failed to kill Jack. She failed to kill Diane. But if she can destroy their family from the inside, if she can make Kyle turn his back on them, then maybe she wins after all. It is a sick, twisted victory, but it is exactly the kind of victory Patty Williams lives for. I really hope Kyle comes to his senses before he does irreparable damage. If he goes to Jack with this fake test while Jack is still recovering in a hospital bed, it could literally cause Jack to have a heart attack. The stress is too much. Jack's body is weak. He lost so much blood when Patty stabbed him. He just woke up from surgery not that long ago. Kyle needs to protect his father, not interrogate him based on a lie from a psychopath. And Billy, what is Billy going to say when Kyle tells him about this? Billy is going to lose his mind. Billy knows Patty is crazy. He has dealt with her before. Billy will probably tell Kyle to burn the paper and never speak of it again. But Billy is also an addict when it comes to chaos. A part of Billy might want to use this chaos to strike at Victor anyway. Everything in Genoa City always comes back to Victor Newman. It always does. So yeah, we are in for a wild ride, you guys. The Abbott family is about to be thrown into a blender of paranoia and suspicion. Kyle is going to be running around playing detective, Jack is going to be heartbroken, Diane is going to be furious, and Patty is going to be sitting in her cell, smiling that creepy little smile of hers. I don't know how this is going to end, but I know it's going to be messy. Really, really messy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Am I being too hard on Kyle? Is Patty an evil genius? We will see what happens next week.